Welcome to my channel, Marta Ritzy, trainer here. I am about to show you what one of my clients interview and how her amazing transformation over the last couple years, and when she figured out that nutrition was the key to her journey. Check it out.
Are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm
So
awake.
this is going to be a just casual interview here. We're going to talk freely. We're going to talk about all the things we've gone through. But first, let's go back to the beginning, back September 2023. Well, no, 22.
22. I know.
22.
I
And
know.
what were you looking for when you reached out?
I was swimming that summer and eating an awful lot of apple fritters and those German pretzels. And I was not feeling good about myself. I had always been athletic. I had always felt as though I was in shape, but that summer I knew I was off. I saw another lady in the condo who I knew trained, who I felt looked pretty good, and she was on task. You know what I mean? I felt like she knew where she was going. And I needed that. I knew I needed the focus. I had always done weights as a competitive swimmer, but I knew I didn't know enough. I didn't know enough about the free weights. I didn't know enough how to progress from A to B. So I knew I needed someone with knowledge to help me. But I didn't want to go and I didn't know where to go. So it was good that I had a model in the condo that I could ask. You know, you want, what's the word? You want a reference, you know, instead of searching everywhere and you don't know what to believe and what not to believe. But because I could see this person knowing what she was doing, thinking, okay, let's talk to the trainer that she works with. So I didn't even go on the internet searching for trainers. I went by what I saw, what I liked. So why not try it for myself?
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, what got you to that point to thinking
I
that you
felt
needed
I
to?
felt blub. Blub. Uh, um I knew my body wasn't in shape. And I knew that I didn't feel strong in the little muscles or in the big muscles. Um, my parents were now living beside me in the building beside me, and like 92 and 88. I knew I needed to help them. And I have a severely bad back to begin with. And I knew that I really, really had to protect that back in order to help my parents and help myself. I did not want to go through what I had gone through 2 previous times with my back. I needed to keep it in shape as I grew older.
And at that time, you were still working.
Yes, I was. Yes. And I did not know that. So this was September of 22. I did not know when I went in with you that I would be retiring at the end of that year. Yeah, I did not know that at that point.
And
Yeah.
just to let you know, she's a teacher. She was a kindergarten teacher, very active with her students.
Oh, yeah.
Very a lot of energy, a lot of
Yes.
energy. So even energy goes down throughout the day. Stress levels are probably pretty high. Those
Yeah.
were factors that we had to look into.
Yeah. I was doing 15,000 steps, Marta, in school. Yeah. Yeah.
Right, and not
You know?
losing weight, right? I get
Yeah.
that from a lot of clients. I'm
Yeah.
doing the 10,000 steps. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but I'm not the energy. So we're gonna get
Yeah.
to that point in a little
Yeah.
bit. So a year goes by and we're doing our our workouts here. And this is how we did our workouts, as you're seeing in the video, online. Right?
Yes.
I'm demonstrating and doing the work. We started at home.
Yes.
Because that's where you are comfortable at the
Mm-hmm.
time doing your workouts.
Mm-hmm.
How did that
Mm-hmm.
even feel, like even doing the workouts at home? Because then we're going to talk about now, right?
Yeah.
After.
I felt good at doing them in the house. One, because I didn't know if I wanted to start on my own so no one could see me. I've always been like that. Even when running, I figured if I put a hat on, no one would see me, even if it was the daylight. But yeah, I wanted to do it on my own where no one could see me so I could get started. And I thought it would be easy, jump out of bed, have a cup of tea, go on my merry way into the next room, you know? And the hard part about it, though, was I only had 5, 10, 15, and then I had to go find a set of 20. So we only could use up to 20 pounds in my thing. And that's how we started. But then my parents moved in and I was still working out. And we had to get rid of all the rugs because of my mom's walking. And I had to go into the spare bedroom because my parents were in the living room. So it became very cramped. And I couldn't speak as freely.
Right. Yeah. Right.
So, yeah. And can I say the benefits of going into the rec center?
We'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, we're going to jump into that after. But
Yeah.
there's something that you hit on there. You started at home.
Yeah.
It was great to get started. But then you started to realize you needed more.
That's what I was just about to say. Yes.
Okay, yes.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. There wasn't enough variety with just those few weights. And sometimes you would put into my schedule some cables and stuff. But because we hadn't practiced with them on my online session, sometimes my form actually wasn't correct. So it was actually very important and beneficial that I went into the rec center and really the people around me were with me, having you online with me, you know, and I had my earphones on too. But by us being able to go into the rec center and use the cables and actually the full amount of weight, then you could check my form. And then when I did it on my own for the other 2 days, then I knew I was doing it right. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's
That was a
you can
biggie.
see for yourself that you can do it.
Yes.
A lot of women,
Totally,
they're
too.
like, oh, 50 pounds. Oh, I can't do that.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
but think of all the stuff that you do throughout the day,
Yeah.
right? Like, yeah, you can. You
Yeah.
just, one, have to believe yourself, be confident in yourself, and try it, right?
Yes.
So that's the training aspect. I'm glad that you actually just spoke about the training, because the training is not it. It's
No.
not just it. So for the first year, you actually didn't want to track your food.
No.
You were
Because
very
I thought I knew everything. Yes.
Keep going. Keep going.
I thought, being like an athlete for so long, that I just knew what to do, you know? And I didn't. I was while I was working, I was fasting. Like, I was not eating breakfast before I went to work. I would eat a snack at snack time with the kids. I would have lunch, and then I would have dinner. But I was had no concept at that point that I was under eating. And oh my God, Marta, the binge eating I would have. One, because I was hungry, and two, I was so stressed out, especially by Friday. Sometimes Friday nights, my meals would be 6 large chocolate bars because I just wanted that chocolate. And then I would have a scrambled egg on top to make it sound like it was nutritious.
I am good. I am having my eggs. What are you talking about?
But I was so bad with the binge eating. You know, a parent would bring donuts into the classroom, and I'd eat like 10 of them. It was because they never filled you up, so you just kept eating them. You know, but I suffered so badly from crashing. Like, so if I binged on all that chocolate Friday night, my weekend was wasted because I was so exhausted from crashing. And then when I when I retired, I found that I did not have 6 chocolate bars at once, but I was still eating. I was still binging. And because my parents always had ice cream and cookies and stuff in the house. So I remember getting to the point, okay, I had another crash. And I said to you, I said, okay, let's not do the weight workout. Let's just sit and talk about this food and this food app, because you did try to get me on it much earlier. But me not being techie, I didn't like it, and I found it very confusing. But I found it confusing because I was afraid to try it. Because now when you look at it, it's very simple. And like I said, I am not a tech person. It's a very simple app.
Yeah.
And so we took a weight session and discussed it. And then I put everything on it that I ate. And I was eating so much fat, like sausages, female bacon. Like my protein was coming from the fatty meats. You know what I mean?
Because that's what we're being told is protein, and
Yes.
eat protein.
Yes.
So
Yes. And the calories that I was eating was like, oh my God. Now it would have been interesting if I had been on that app when I worked to see how much I underate. You know what I mean? But yeah. But when I retired and I finally went on the app, it was like, oh my God, look at what you're eating. You're eating, it was almost all fat. And I had it in my head all through school and all through the first of the retirement. No sugar, no sugar. You can have veggies like your broccoli and your string beans, but no fruit. Because when I worked, it all bloated me. I was so badly bloated with the sugar. And then, but this app sounds stupid. It allowed me to eat fruit, you know? And so I am not bloated anymore. I follow the app. I follow the calories, and it's funny, the protein is bang on, the carbs, it's the fat I have to work on still getting it up now, as opposed
now
to
it's the
getting
opposite.
it down.
Now.
Yeah.
So let's go back a step and let's say why, because for the first year you refused. You're
Yes.
like, no. Why?
Yeah.
What was that turning point in making that now nutrition, like you did for the first year?
Yeah.
Exercise good. I got
Yeah.
routine. You
Yeah.
did fall into some injury in the first year, not
Yes.
because of workout, because of the previous.
No, and you know what though, Marta? I've spoken to some people that have retired, and they have run into the same problem that I did. Your body goes. And then you retire. And then it's like, okay, now I can get you.
Yeah.
And I'm not the only one that has fallen into injury as soon as I retire. You know what I mean? it's like your body knew it had to keep going, and then once it knew it could stop, it took me on, and it just attacked the very weak muscles that then I could start developing.
And we did talk about this because you said I almost gave up on
Yes.
continuing this because
Yes.
of the injury.
Yes.
So, but you didn't. You
No.
went to physio, you went to massage therapy, you went and did all those
Osteo.
other little
Yeah.
things, osteo,
Yeah.
but you continued the weight training.
Yes. Yeah. For
Even if
I think it was 6 months, Marta, that I could not use my legs. Like I couldn't even walk around the block.
that's
Yeah.
at the point where we met actually in person.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I went to visit Anne in Toronto. She's
Yeah.
actually in Pickering, but
Yeah.
I was in Toronto October of 2023.
Yeah.
I've met Anne in person, which
Yeah.
is pretty special.
Yeah.
I have a lot of clients that I still haven't met,
Ah.
but I knew that Anne right from the beginning, because this is how I work with my clients. I don't just give you a training program and you go and do it. I don't just tell you what to do and you go and do it. I help you along the way to answer questions, to even just release frustration and stress that you may be feeling, because that is part of the journey.
Yeah.
That is part of the journey. So
Yeah.
you were
Yeah.
injured, you did the things, you continued weight training. And then what was the turning point? Because it was shortly after that you said, all right, I'll weigh my food.
Yeah. It was because it was another bad crash I had. It was another bad sugar crash. And it was like, I can't do this anymore, you know? And it was just like, it was like I hit rock bottom with the food crash. And I guess because too, my body was finally starting to heal and come along. You know what I mean? But I could not handle another crash. I couldn't. And so I decided to listen to you.
And even when you started,
It's all about the ego breaking down, honey.
even when you started tracking, like first there was a trial and error period.
Yes. Yes.
You were like, oh my gosh, you were realizing all the types of foods, like you mentioned, the sausage,
Yeah.
the bacon, how much fat.
Yeah.
And you also do have some food allergies and sensitivities.
Yeah.
So you have to be very aware of that.
Yeah.
And that's what I say. The way I teach is a flexible dieting, which means you can eat whatever you'd like. You just make it fit.
Yeah.
And according to your allergies or sensitivities.
Yeah.
And once you realize that you could even enjoy ice cream once in a while.
Yeah.
You could even enjoy going out and having a cookie or here or whatever. But
the trick to it too, Marta, is okay, mine is, let's say, 1,700 calories. It allows me to eat 1,700 calories, but don't eat 1,700 calories of crap. You know what I mean? You can turn around and say, well, I fit the calories, but there's no way you fit the protein, carb, and fat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what happens to individuals that they become skinny fat.
Yeah.
You're hitting your calories, you're definitely
Yes.
calories, but you're not hitting the macros.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now you have the macros in check.
Yeah. You don't realize how good you can feel until you change your diet properly, because you get used to feeling ick, not realizing ick isn't normal. And then when you start to eat properly, then you go, geez, I feel good. And then, yes, you want the treat, but like you go to Tim Hortons, geez, that's almost 300 calories, but I want this, this, and this tonight. So it's like, I'd rather have a plate full of A, B, C, D, E, and F as opposed to one thing at Timmy's. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I take my yogurt and fruit to Timmy's while my mom has her apple fritter.
Right? Because, well, now your body is recognizing that you're satisfying it.
Yes.
It's saying, oh, she gave me this, this, and this,
Yes.
instead of just
One
this.
thing.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And that's a lot of listening to your body, because when we're in that stage, like when you were working, when you were busy, like you're so busy with other things that it was easy for you to fast for that long period of time.
Yeah.
It was easy to be like, oh, well, I'm hungry, so I'll just find whatever.
Well, and there was always treats in the staff room. Like, oh my God. And now, like, mom loves ice cream, and I used to open it for her and test it for her and then give her some. But now, what we do is we leave it in the freezer, and I say to dad, okay, you need to get mom's ice cream for the night, but you're not doing it until I go out for a walk. And then by the time I get home from a walk, it's been eaten and it's back in the fridge. So it's okay.
And you just gave us a prime example of what parents also go through.
Yeah.
Because their kids will leave half of the plate, and then moms will come in and finish the rest.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
fish crackers, the crab, the other
Yeah.
little things that we
Yeah.
crackers. But
Yeah.
we go and finish the rest of
Yeah.
the plate, and then you're
And I
wondering,
did it
where
before.
do these calories come in?
Yeah.
Why not? You know,
It's the taste things. Yes. For me,
right?
it's I got to taste it for her before I give it. to her.
Right. But also, like, now, so let's look into year 2. You're tracking now.
Yeah.
You're now decided, the at home only workout is not working out.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
made you switch to the in the gym atmosphere?
Well, we did it at home on the weekend, and then I would go into the gym for the 2 days. Yes. But then it was the issue of needing heavier weights. That was the first thing. We needed heavier weights and we needed variety. And the best thing about it was when we went down there, everyone knew me, so they were fine. They would even wave to you. And but it was the form, Marta. It was the weights, in the sense that we could now go heavier, but we could have more variety. But because we were online, you could check my form. Yeah. 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 I'm very particular about form.
Well, you have to, for you
Yeah.
don't injure. We're not
Yeah.
here to injure,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Excellent. I want to, so in this part of the video, I'm going to have to edit, but I want to show you
Mhm.
some of your stats.
Okay.
And regarding your food. And this
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never seen these. Okay.
yeah. And this is, I want to share this with also the audience. Hold on. Let me find it first. And then
Okay.
I'll share it.
Can I talk while you're finding it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's
Because
recording, and it'll just be audio.
okay. So when I started tracking, okay, I'm going to have breakfast. Okay, what am I going to have for lunch? I'll have lunch. What am I going to have for dinner? But as the tracking has progressed, I'm more planning. My food before weights is a staple. So you could almost put it in, well, I do put it in for a few days because I know I'm going to have that. Same with, as soon as I finish working out, I know what I'm going to have, so I put it in. But sometimes I don't know the particular weight of it, like the chicken. So when I actually go to prepare it, then I can weigh it and put it in. But you almost have to have a sense of what you're going to have. Like, okay, I know what I'm having before and after, but what are you having for dinner? And I need my watermelon for snack. I just love it. But you have to think of, well, but this is what you want for dinner. So if you want this for dinner and you put it in, can you have this and can you have that? So you have to plan and play with it the day before you continue eating. You know what I mean? Like, I know my staple
Yep.
for breakfast. I know my staple for after my workout. Okay. What's going to be dinner and snack will all depend upon how many macros are left. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, let's say I put in a cup of broccoli and I realize I'm over. Okay. I'll switch that to a half a cup of broccoli. Yeah, but I want sweet potatoes. So I put sweet potatoes in. Well, maybe I can't have that amount. So I'll switch the amount. So I'll make it fit on the app first before I put it on my plate.
Yep. No,
Yeah.
exactly. So
That way, yeah.
there's various ways we can do
Yeah.
it, right? You
That's
can
the way I do it.
actually,
Yeah.
exactly. And you have to find your way that works for you.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
otherwise, it's
Yeah.
not going to work.
No,
right?
this way I know in advance that what's in there will work.
Right.
You know,
And
yeah.
I'm pretty similar. But if an individual were to be going to work and they can't do that, that's where the meal planning comes in. You
Yes.
weigh your food. You actually put your food in for the day.
Yes.
And you're good, right?
Exactly.
So that's for somebody that's busy, not at home.
Yeah.
I work from home for the most part. You're with your parents. It's more flexible, our schedule in that sense. But for anybody watching this, if you are working, it's still doable.
Yeah.
It's still doable in the day.
Oh, yeah.
But let me show you. And I want to bring this up because I have some individuals, some clients that are like, I'm doing the things, but it's not happening. Why not? Well, maybe it's been 2-3 months. We have to remember that where we are now, how long did it take us to get here? The habits, the routines, the mindsets that we're going to be talking about shortly, but the just things that are available in your house, right?
Yeah.
So some people go really extreme and take things out completely.
Okay.
Right? Which is okay. But if it were to come back in your house, can you manage having that thing in?
I know.
Right?
I know.
So there's a lot of things: emotional eating, stress eating, just I haven't eaten today, so now I'm gonna eat. Like, just right, many factors. But for you, I want to show you. I'm going to be sharing my screen right here.
Okay.
And this is the key. This is the key. First of all, it's time.
Yeah.
And then it's consistency. So do you see that? That's your overall consistency. See how, it's up and down there. It's in that 15, 16, 17.
Yes. It never reaches the full potential. Yeah, I know.
And that's something that you're still learning, right? Like, right. So that's the past 3 months. But if I were to go back 6 months.
What are the different colors, Marta?
The red is fats.
Okay.
The blue is carbs.
Okay.
And the green is your protein. But even though they're tiny spikes, it's straight. It's straight.
Yeah. Look at that protein.
That's consistency.
Yeah.
Right?
It's funny, like all the things on Facebook and everything say people have problems with protein. For me, it's the fat. Yeah.
Right? But that's the thing is, once you get into this habit, once you get into that, your body is asking for it now.
Yes.
Well, because you're also lifting. And if we're not putting in the protein, then your lifting is not going to be, your muscles aren't going to grow. With the carbs, your lifting isn't going to be that full on
energy. And that's why I was so tired all the time, because I wasn't eating carbs. Yes.
Yeah. Let's go back a notch there. What were you practicing before?
It was, I would have an orange at school. I can't remember my lunch. It was a lot of meat and either broccoli or string beans, because I always cooked my meals before I went. And then at night, again, I would have meat with veggies, but I would not. My stomach, my God, Marta, like in my 40s and 50s, it was a combination of sugar and stress. I would be fine until lunchtime, but if I ate any kind of fruit from lunchtime on, my stomach just automatically swelled like a balloon. And it was so uncomfortable. And it was upsetting. And it was like, no more sugar. Because, like, I've lived through the low fat era, when
Yeah.
it was no fat, no fat, no fat. And that screwed up my balance very badly.
Hormones. Yeah.
Yeah. And now I've lived through low sugar, low sugar, low sugar. I was still getting my veggies, but I was getting no sugar through fruit, and because of the bloat. But it's funny, since once I started the app, I started allowing myself the sugar through fruit. And oh my God, I love it so much.
Different now, right?
It
You
is.
feel
I have no bloat, and I'm fine. But I think for me, I could not do both sugar through the fruit and stress of work. The two of them together, I could not digest. Like, I'm a
Good
very
point.
firm believer of the brain belly connection.
Yes.
And they say your belly is like your second brain. And so it was not through anything else. My head would be fine. I wouldn't be getting jittery or anxious, but I could tell when I was stressed out when my stomach swelled up.
Stress.
Yes. And that was my telltale. And again, because I was a true believer of the brain belly connection. Like, I've
So,
done my reading on that. Yeah.
so I'm glad that you brought up in my 40s and 50s. Well, let's
Yes.
tell everybody, how old are you?
I'm 59. I'll be 60 in a few months.
And how do you feel? How do you feel going into your 60s now?
The only year I ever cried over a birthday was 30. 30, I could not handle, because you always feel like by the time you're 30, certain expectations, societal expectations, should be in place, and they were not in place for me. And 40, I was fine with. 50, I was great. And 60, I'll be fine with. And I'm very proud of telling people how old I am, because one, I don't look it. I don't think I do. And I don't feel it. You know what I mean? And I'm very proud to tell people how old I am, And it was so funny. And I'm not ready to let my hair go. It's pure white. Like, it is pure white, but it started going white at 17. And not ready for that yet.
And you don't look like you're going into your 60s.
No, not at all. I saw a thing on Facebook the other day, and they were using this lady to promote, I think it was like this chair yoga thing. And she says, I'm 63 years old, and I look so much younger than, all my friends. And I'm looking at her thinking, oh, dear God, you're only 3 years older and you look about 10, 15 years old.
Right? But it's also how we look at life too. I know
Yes.
part of the journey has been also the mindset. You have put in that work, that mindset
Yes, I have.
work,
Yes. Yes, I
right?
have. Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
From living on your own to working full time to retiring now to now taking care of your parents,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
It's been a lot of work. It's been a
Hmm.
lot of even like emergencies, hardship. Like it's been
Yeah.
a lot.
Well, because both parents have lost their licenses. Both parents have dementia, to different degrees. Dad is worse than mom. But it's funny, I said to my mom this morning, my state of sleep is very dependent on dad's sleep. If he's up in the middle of the night trying to get out the door or looking through his shelves, looking for a letter, I'm up. And so I get a good night's sleep when he gets a good night's sleep.
The same thing for
I
moms.
Yes, and I don't have children of my own, and I truly I came home from work exhausted, and I was very grateful that I didn't have then to deal with my own kids. And I've heard a lot of teachers say that I give it so much energy to the kids at school that it's very hard to come home and unfair that I don't have the energy to give to my own kids.
Yep.
And yeah, and I understand that now because I feel like a newborn mother, a new mother with babies,
Yep.
because I am up and listening to every move that they make now to make sure mom isn't falling, dad isn't leaving the house. It's time of day, and
And
yeah.
and so let's now retract. Why are you doing all of this? What is the
I need to
reason?
be strong. I need to be strong because I have no one else to take care of them. I know some people might be listening and saying you need to put them in a home, but I don't think they're ready for a home. They're not that progressed. I don't think they would be happy in a home knowing their personalities. And I need to be healthy, to feed them properly, to be their social convener. And I need to be strong enough to lift mom and dad. Dad is easy to lift. Mom is not easy to lift. And I need to be strong enough to lift her up when she falls.
And you've already had some incidences that you've
Oh
had to
yeah.
build your strength.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, I have a severely bad back, and I need to protect that to protect me as I pick her up, you know?
No. When it
So,
comes to your choices, that's you have to do what is best for you. If
well,
it's
yeah. And you know what, Marta? I live in a condo with very active older people. And they say to me, "Oh, I aspire to be you." And it's like, no, 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 no. I aspire to be you because I want to be like my dad in the sense that still being in the 90s and still going out for a walk and still doing things.
yeah.
And in order to do that, I see with my mother and some other people, unfortunately, especially ladies, if if you don't move it, you lose it.
And muscle. Because
Yes,
as women, as we hit
but
menopause
the mobility,
and mobility.
like to put on your bra, to put on your jacket, to live.
And
Yeah,
this is the message. This is the message that I give to even 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds. Um, where do you want to be in 20,
yeah,
30, 40 years?
yeah,
Do you
yeah,
want to not be able to put your coat on, like you mentioned, put your bra on,
yeah,
having somebody to bathe you already, right? Like,
yeah,
or do you want to stay
yeah.
independent?
Exactly, exactly.
But
Yeah.
like you're in your 50s, going 60s, you're gonna start aging gracefully. But like,
Well,
let's
thank
look.
you.
You already are. You already
I know.
are.
I
because you're
know. I know.
maintaining that muscle mass. That's
Hmm.
the huge point here, is that
It is.
a lot of women think about, I want to lose weight, want to
Yeah.
lose weight. Well,
Yeah.
guess what? You're going to also lose when you lose weight?
Yes. You're going
Muscle,
to lose muscle. Yes. Yes.
right? So,
Because there was 3 years after 2007, like I couldn't walk for 3 years, and I couldn't run, bike, swim, nothing. And that's when I found out about my allergies, and I ate perfectly. And I used to joke that I was the walking poster bulletin for not working out, because I was so skinny. You know what I mean? But I also couldn't walk. I couldn't bike. I couldn't do anything, you know? So, and once my body calmed down, I could start doing that again. And like yesterday when you sent the tracking sheet and that statement, what are you proud of? I don't know if you read it. I have a pair of beautiful wool warm socks, perfect for the cold. But I always wore sockies to school because socks would hurt my legs, like the tension of the sock.
too tight. Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
So these wool socks go halfway up the leg, which are a telltale sign that, okay, they're going to leave a rim, or, no rim at all. And I said to Mom, look at this. I said, there is no inflammation in my leg. And I wore those socks for 2 days. I did both days, 10,000 steps in those socks. And it's like no inflammation in my leg. And it sounds stupid, but I was very proud of that.
Or retaining water.
Yeah,
Probably not retaining as much.
exactly.
Ah,
Yeah, yeah,
see?
yeah. I
And
was
and
very
let's
proud of that.
and let's go back to so about your journey in this last year.
Yes.
Let's be open and honest here. You only lost 12 pounds.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
and
within
I
the
asked you
year.
about that. How do you feel about a whole year, but you lost only 12 pounds?
I know. I know. And women are women. It's always going to bother them. But like I said to you a minute ago, like I'm closer to 160 than I am to 150. And even if I was 154, I'd be closer to 150, so I wouldn't care. You know what I mean? I'm 156 right now. But holy Hannah, my measurements are really good. My favorite jeans that I've had patched so often because they're my favorite, but they're my tester jeans too. And they fit lovely. My bathing suits, I look really good in them. I look I look like a real swimmer, which you know, and I tried on my ski pants last night, and they were really good looking. I fit into a winter coat that I wasn't able to wear 2 years ago. And I know it sounds vain, but you know, the compliments that I've received from people in the weight room, people in the pool, it's like, Anne, you look really good. What have you done? And I said, I added fruit to my diet. And they said, no, 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 you're supposed to go low sugar. I said, not me. I needed to add my sugar.
Right? But you're also
I feel
lifting.
good.
And you're
Yes.
lifting the heaviest you've ever lifted.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Some of the things that you've done, 35-pound press, even
Mm-hmm.
30-pound shoulder press.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We bicep curls are in the 20s, 25,
Yeah.
30, we've tried 30.
Mm-hmm.
Legs, we're doing
Yeah.
legs, we're lifting.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, is if we didn't lose the weight, you also build the muscle.
Yes. Yeah. Because the last time you said, like, because you said, how do you feel about this? And I said, I don't really care anymore. And really, it will always be in the back of a woman's head, but I don't really care anymore. That's why I didn't weigh myself till now. because I feel good. I feel
Yes.
good. I'm my goal is not to buy a new pair of clothes that are smaller. I want to be comfortable in the clothes that I have. And and I feel great.
Amazing. All right. So let me just ask you the questions I was going to ask you. But
Okay.
that is the thing. It's like
You
we've
can
worked
feel the
so
difference regardless of the number,
we
Marta.
but we've worked so close together that we
Yeah.
can get into these conversations. It's not just here's the training program, here's what
Yeah.
to eat. See you
Yeah.
later. Good luck. Um,
Yeah, and you know what? If that was the case, I'm looking for a Kleenex. Oh, over here. If that was the case, then I would never have gone on the food app. If I could not, like, I text you most nights my food and my steps, and I love having that accountability. It's like, oh, she's gonna see it. It helps.
yeah.
And but also when I text you, I tell you how I feel about the weights. Were they fluid? Was it hard? And knowing that you're going to read that and knowing that you're going to respond. I know you're there, as opposed to just a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Then your biggest lesson that you've learned in this journey so far.
Oh boy.
Sorry.
Okay. The biggest lesson. That can I do a little minute?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Well, that I can go heavy. That's one lesson, that I can go heavy, because I had such a mental hardship going from 25 to 30. I can't do the 30. I can't do the 30. I can't do the 30. And now it's like, okay, let's go to 30. And it's 35. And it's like, okay, I need the 40. And now I got a weight vest to make it heavier. And, so yeah, one lesson was, yes, it took a while. It took a long time in my eyes to make me feel I actually could do it. And you know what? I didn't start believing I could do it until I got my food in place. Um, yeah. In my opinion, there is a connection in timing of going heavier and getting my food in order, because I had more energy and I was eating properly before doing my weights, whereas before I was either fasting or I was having potatoes with tons of butter, you know? And so there's a connection between those two. And you know what? Um, it's I've worked hard on my positivity, like throughout the years. Um, and it is very draining, and I get very tired taking care of things at home. And I've learned the difference between dedication and motivation. And I did not truly understand the difference until last week, when I was feeling so crappy. And I didn't realize I was coming down with a cold. I was letting everything with my parents get to me. I wasn't sleeping. And it was like, okay, I got to get down to the gym. And my gym is my haven now. You know what I mean? In the sense that I bring my dad down with me. He does the bike for half an hour, and then he goes back upstairs. I'm down there for a lot longer. I do your hour workout, but then I do a lot of balancing and mobility and stuff. And I probably drag it out a bit, because I like talking to the people, and I just like being down there. It's my own space. And the security guards probably get a kick out of me, because when I'm alone, I'm singing and dancing away.
Your time. It's your time.
Yes, and you know
Yeah.
what? My parents understand that the gym is my time. You know what I mean? Like,
And
they're
all
not looking for
people
me.
need their time.
Yeah,
Everybody needs their own time to bring
yeah,
themselves back to who they
yeah,
are.
yeah,
I work a lot with a lot of women, they're moms, and they lose themselves along the way. And
yes,
even if you're busy working, you lose yourself in your
yeah,
work, and
yeah.
then you're like, who am I?
The other thing we introduced, Marta, like I always did 15,000 steps at home. I mean, at school. And then once I retired, that was gone, but I was not walking. And you introduced the walking kind of around the same time as the food app.
Yeah.
And sometimes I split the 10,000 afternoon and and evening. If I go out in the afternoon, I take my dad out so he can get some air. But the evening walk is my walk. And my dad will say to me, "It's too dark outside. Let me come with you." And I'll say, "Dad, I love you, but it's minus 15 degrees. If I walk at your pace right now, I'll freeze to death." I said, "So this is my walk, this is my fast walk, and this is my time."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
and he says,
Yeah.
"Okay." But that walking has made a difference too, in the sense that it really helps digest the evening meal, you know? And then I love coming home and having a little bit of blueberry and a little bit of yogurt as my evening snack. I can't get enough of blueberries and watermelon. I just can't.
And you're enjoying it. You're not stressing yourself out over, I can't eat that.
No, but the funny thing is, again, with the app, depending upon what I've done throughout the day, okay, how many blueberries can I have that night? In fact, when I plug everything in, I will plug in the blueberries right away
Yeah.
at like my evening
So
snack,
they're
'cause
there.
I know I want it. And if I do run out of room a little bit, okay, I'll change it to a half a cup instead of a whole cup.
Right.
So, yeah.
And that's where
Yes.
also you're in control of it.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
are not,
Yeah.
I gotta eat this, I gotta eat that. What if it's
Yes.
too much and that, you're full,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes.
This has been an amazing talk. We're gonna go one last question. It's probably your most favorite one.
Okay.
Which do you think is more
Yeah.
important? Nutrition, training, or mindset? It is a tricky question.
It's a very tricky question because I'm just going to talk, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm looking at this and I started I had a particular mindset in order to start the training, but the nutrition didn't come to later. But I hear so much of you can't out train your nutrition. So you can do all the weights you want. And if your nutrition is not there, then the training will not peak. And that's what I did learn, because even while I trained and my food wasn't in place, the training was not what it is now. So the nutrition and the training have to go hand in hand. You know what I mean? But the two are easier if you have a good mindset. And that mindset will change, because the mindset at the beginning might be out of desperation or out of an icky feeling. And then it turns into excitement and gotta go. You know what I mean? Like now my gear is ready to go. As soon as I get up in the morning, I put it on. I put my old jacket on top so that when I eat my breakfast, I don't spill it on my beautiful outfits. But the mindset changes as your nutrition and your training get better. Yeah, you can't say one or the other or the three
No, I'm
because it's very circular,
yes, I know, and that's
you
why I
know?
wanted it that way.
Yeah.
Because
And if your mindset falters because you've had a tough day, or you're tired or you're not feeling well, because the nutrition and the training set are there, you'll keep going.
yes, it's easier to get back into
Yeah.
that mindset.
Yeah.
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 That's
Yeah.
beautifully put. I
Yeah.
love that because it happens to
Yeah.
all of us.
It
I'm
does.
I'm human. I'm a
Yeah.
personal trainer, but that
Yeah.
doesn't mean I don't have off days.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I don't struggle, right?
Yeah.
We all
Yeah.
do.
Mhm.
It's a matter of just getting back on
Yeah.
track.
And because you're not doing weights 7 days a week, there's a little wiggle room. You know what I mean? Like if you're supposed to do weights today and you know what, I'm not feeling well, I'll go for a walk, but I'll do my weights tomorrow instead of today. But you need to make sure you actually do it the next day because if you
Yes.
keep saying that, then you're
Yeah.
screwed.
Yeah. No. Yeah, exactly. Right. You
Yeah.
have to have that routine. And then
Yes.
once you have established that routine, that's when you can do
Yes.
that.
Yes.
But you can't
Or,
do it.
if like I am really, really trying to make sure my appointments and my parents' appointments are in the afternoon so that I can work out in the morning. And because I find it easier working out in the morning. My body is fresher.
Mhm.
And but if an appointment comes up in the morning, it's like, okay, so you won't do your weights today, you'll do them tomorrow instead.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing. And you
Yeah.
have been an inspiration. Okay. You are. To me, you've been an inspiration to other clients that I'm
Mhm.
working
Mhm.
with,
Yeah.
seeing that you're just going at it. Age is not a factor.
No.
Okay. We have to continue taking care of ourselves.
Yeah.
And you're doing it.
Yeah.
You're doing it.
And the thing is, it may take longer than you want it to, because I even read somewhere that muscle develops slower. You know what I mean? So you need to give it time, and you need to get your nutrition proper, and but just give it time and just focus on the feeling and not on the number.
Love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Thank you. And oh
You're
my gosh,
welcome.
you're killing it. You did amazing.